Discipline begins with clarity of vision. It's not enough to say you want to be successful, productive, or happy. Those are vague desires that fade when life gets uncomfortable. True discipline starts when you can see, clearly and specifically, where you want your life to go. That vision is your compass. It gives you direction when distractions try to pull you off course. It reminds you of the why behind the difficult decisions, the sacrifices, and the late nights. Without that kind of vision, you're just reacting to life instead of intentionally shaping it. People often confuse goals with vision, but they're not the same thing. Goals are short-term targets. Vision is the long-term picture. A goal might be losing 10 pounds, but the vision is living a strong, healthy, energetic life. A goal might be to get a promotion, but the vision is to become a respected leader who inspires others. Vision pulls you through the grind. When the motivation fades, and it always does, vision is what keeps you moving. It gives the day-to-day grind a purpose. Discipline without vision turns into burnout. It becomes mechanical, forced, and lifeless. But discipline powered by vision becomes meaningful. Every task, no matter how small, becomes a brick laid in the foundation of something greater. You stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" and start asking, "Does this move me toward the life I see for myself?" That shift in mindset is where discipline transforms from punishment to purpose. Creating that vision takes reflection. You have to be willing to slow down and ask yourself the real questions. Who do I want to become? What kind of impact do I want to make? What do I want my life to look like? Not just in the next 6 months, but in 5 years, 10 years, or more. Those aren't easy questions, and the answers may change as you grow. But even a rough sketch of your vision is better than none at all. It gives your discipline a destination. Once the vision is in place, everything else starts to align. Your priorities become clearer. Your time becomes more valuable. You stop giving your energy to things that don't serve your future. You begin to structure your life around what matters most. The excuses get quieter. The distractions lose their power. You find a kind of quiet strength in knowing what you're working toward, even if nobody else understands it yet. Vision also helps you stay resilient when life doesn't go according to plan. And it won't. There will be setbacks. There will be delays. There will be moments where the progress feels invisible. But if your vision is strong, you'll keep going. You'll adjust the plan without abandoning the purpose. That's the kind of discipline that outlasts trends, moods, and circumstances. So if you're struggling to stay disciplined, don't start by blaming your habits, your schedule, or your energy levels. Start by asking yourself if you have a vision, not just something that sounds good on paper, but something that actually moves you. Something you can see so clearly in your mind that you'll be willing to do whatever it takes to make it real. Because when the vision is strong enough, the discipline starts to come naturally. Not because it's easy, but because it finally feels worth it. Failure is often treated like the enemy, something to avoid at all costs. But the truth is, failure is an essential part of growth, and without it, discipline has no depth. When a person learns to fall forward instead of backward, they stop seeing failure as a full stop and start seeing it as a comma, a pause, a lesson, a redirect, but not the end. That simple shift in perspective can change everything. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting knocked down and choosing to get back up again, each time with more wisdom and more strength. Falling forward means using failure as fuel. Every mistake, every disappointment, every plan that doesn't work out becomes a part of the learning process. It means not letting the fear of falling stop you from taking a step in the first place. People who avoid failure often avoid effort too. They hesitate. They overthink. They wait for the perfect moment that never comes. But those who fall forward understand that progress is messy, and that discipline is not about doing everything right. It's about continuing even when things go wrong. Building discipline requires a mindset that welcomes challenges. When you fall, you don't retreat. You lean into the lesson, you take the hit, assess what went wrong, and move again, smarter, sharper, and stronger. The pain of failure is real, but it doesn't have to be wasted. In fact, it can be your greatest teacher. Each failure reveals something about your approach, your habits, your thinking, your preparation. And when you listen to those lessons instead of ignoring or denying them, you become more resilient. That resilience becomes the root of your discipline, People who fall backward tend to dwell in regret. They replay their mistakes over and over, looking for someone to blame or wishing they could go back and do things differently. That mindset keeps them stuck. It drains their energy and robs them of confidence. But those who fall forward accept what happened, take responsibility, and keep moving. They may still feel the sting of failure, but they don't let it stop their forward motion. That's the power of discipline. It pushes you beyond the pain and into purpose. Another key part of falling forward is letting go of the need for approval. Often, failure hurts most because of how we think others will see us. We become so afraid of judgment, of looking foolish or weak, that we avoid trying at all. But when discipline kicks in, you stop needing validation from outside. Your focus shifts from proving something to others to building something within yourself. You become more committed to your growth than to your image, and that frees you to take the risks necessary for progress. Discipline also thrives when you begin to expect failure, not in a negative or pessimistic way, but in a realistic and prepared way. You understand that on the path to anything meaningful, obstacles are part of the journey. Instead of being surprised or discouraged by them, you prepare for them. You build the mental toughness to push through them. And over time, each fall becomes less of a crisis and more of a checkpoint. The truth is, you will fall. Everyone does. What separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck is how they fall. Discipline isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about having the courage to keep stepping forward, knowing that falling is inevitable but growth is optional. When you choose to fall forward, you choose to move with purpose, even through the pain. You stop letting fear dictate your pace, and you start letting faith in your future pull you through. That's where real discipline is born, in the decision to rise, again and again, no matter how many times you've fallen before. Putting a higher power first in your life is more than just a spiritual idea. It is a foundation for personal discipline. When life is centered around something greater than yourself, it shifts your mindset in a powerful way. You stop chasing temporary rewards and start living with deeper purpose. You begin to make choices based on values, not just moods. Discipline in this context becomes a natural response to living with intention and faith. It's no longer just about forcing yourself to do hard things. It becomes about aligning your daily actions with something meaningful, something that keeps you grounded no matter what chaos surrounds you. When a person places their faith at the center of their life, discipline becomes rooted in trust. Trust that the hard work matters, even when the results don't show up right away. Trust that there's a bigger plan unfolding, even when you don't have all the answers. This kind of belief gives you peace in uncertainty, and it strengthens your commitment when you're tempted to give up. It reminds you that your journey isn't only about what you can control. It is also about surrendering what you can. That surrender is not weakness. It's a kind of strength that allows you to keep going, even when things don't make sense. Having a spiritual anchor teaches you patience. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, faith teaches you that timing matters, that some things require waiting, and that not every season is about reaping. Some seasons are about sowing. Some are about growing in silence, when no one sees the effort but you keep showing up anyway. That's discipline. It's the quiet, consistent effort driven by something more powerful than ego or ambition. It's a response to the belief that you are here for a reason, and that your work, your growth, your discipline, it all matters in the bigger picture. This mindset also teaches humility. When you put a higher power first, you begin to realize that life is not all about you. Your gifts, your opportunities, even your struggles, they all serve a greater purpose. That humility fuels discipline because it shifts the focus. It's no longer just about what you get from your efforts. It's about who you become through them. You start to value character over comfort, growth over ease, and legacy over applause. That change in perspective makes it easier to do the hard things. It gives meaning to sacrifice and power to perseverance. Putting something higher than yourself first also creates clarity. In moments of confusion or stress, it gives you a place to return to, a set of guiding principles that shape your decisions. When everyone else is chasing trends or shortcuts, you stay steady. You don't need external noise to tell you who you are or what you should do. You've already got a source of truth within you that keeps you focused. That clarity becomes your compass. It helps you say no to distractions and yes to discipline, even when it's uncomfortable. Finally, it gives you gratitude. When you see life as a gift, even the challenges become opportunities. You stop wasting time complaining, comparing, or chasing things that don't matter. Gratitude shifts your attitude, and attitude shapes behavior. A grateful heart works harder, lasts longer, and stays focused. It doesn't give up easily, because it understands how precious each day really is. In the end, discipline isn't just about routines and habits. It's about alignment, living in harmony with what you believe. When your actions reflect your faith, your values, and your purpose, discipline stops being a burden. It becomes a lifestyle. And that's when real transformation begins.